I get to say some Latin phrases here. Habeas corpus. How about that? On porpoise. Joining us now, our weekly legal dude sickle. We pull him out of the courtroom every Wednesday morning about this time. Jeremy Rosenthal. Which, by the way, Jeremy, now that we're speaking Latin, I can tell you, bellus specula.
Thank you. To you too.
Do you know what I even said?
Of course I do. I'm a lawyer. But why don't you tell us?
I said, hey, nice glasses.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Yes.
you're
Okay.
welcome.
Okay. Good work.
Uh,
Good work.
Latin is now. There's a reason. I don't know if people realize there was a reason why it's not just to be all hoity-toity and highbrow.
Right.
Latin is used in medical terms and in legal terms
Right.
because why? Because it's a dead language and it does not change. It is what it is. Specula is going to be glasses, eyewear, eyeballs, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly. My daughter's in Latin. We make her learn that. Look, what's really critical with learning Latin is that you can find the bathroom really in any country in Europe with Latin, and that means something.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, in Wallace, Michigan, which I had to look it up even where it was, it's way across the UP. It's darn near Wisconsin. In fact, I think some of them think they're Wisconsinites. The DeYoung Family Zoo has some monkeys. They have chimpanzees. Apparently, somehow, the Non Human Rights Project has taken up the case of these chimpanzees and was trying to get I don't know what legal rights for him or something. What's habeas
Well,
corpus mean, first of all?
okay, so hey, so let's first off, let's be serious. Okay, this is how it starts. This is why we had movies with Charlton Heston, Mark Wahlberg with the Planet of the Apes, okay? And we joke about this, right? But those movies were more documentaries than they were anything else, right? I mean, this is how we recognize chimpanzees as person. That's how it starts. But I'll tell you what, I will always line up on the side of the humans. That's just me.
Uh, they're cool movies, though. Come on.
Oh yeah, and they're reality. I mean, they're coming true. Now the chimps are going to have rights. So let's talk about habeas corpus, okay? Because it is kind of an important thing. So habeas corpus is what keeps America. It's what habeas corpus takes America out of the category of Panama, out of North Korea, out of Iraq. Okay. Basically, habeas corpus is a prisoner's absolute right to call timeout and say, okay, I want to see a neutral judge, and I want a review of my detention. And when we see movies sometimes that say, well, they're going to suspend habeas corpus, what it means is we're done playing around. We're going to have martial law, and we're just going to start throwing people in cells and not asking them any questions. And you don't get a lawyer, and you don't get any rights. You don't get to see a judge. So habeas corpus is actually a really fundamental American right. And again, if we to kind of be serious here for a minute, the Charlie Kirk assassination, we had a manhunt for the better part of what 2 or 3 days, where they ultimately found Tyler Robinson. When all of society, when all of the weight of the government lands on one human, you don't want to let him go. You don't want to hear from him. You don't want to hear his excuses. You don't want to do any of that. That's human nature. Habeas corpus is what is his absolute right, whether it works or doesn't work, to say time out. I want to see a judge, and I want these things at least sort of reviewed. So that's why it's really critical. But they apply to people, not chimps. And I will die on the mountain that a chimpanzee does not get habeas corpus.
Right. And it is kind of funny. And the Michigan Supreme Court uh, is going to, I'm sure they're going to, I mean, if they're going to say, yeah, what are you people? Yeah, stop wasting our time. Habeas, by the way, I know corpus is body. What's habeas?
I believe habeas corpus in toto means bring me the body or bring forth the body, meaning the prisoner. And it gets confusing. It does get confusing because habeas corpus also refers to a lot of your innocence work, a lot of your, okay, we found DNA evidence 20, 4 years later that says, whatever, that is also a habeas action. So that's where it does get a pretty confusing.
Got it. We got to go. Jeremy Rosenthal,
Oh
our weekly
man.
legal habeas
Well,
corpus man.
Don't let them find out about this in Ohio. They'll just make fun of the Michiganders. Don't
See
do
you
it. Don't
later.
do it.
all right, bye.
Bye. Bye.